Hello and welcome to the 37th episode of the Stage Prime podcast. It's with me, Ollie, joined with
Harry.
Harry, joined with
So,
Jamie, and I'm joined with Mikey. So I normally ask how you're doing, but we'd obviously talked yesterday for the reaction. I'm still a bit ill, so my voice is still a bit croaky, but again, it should be all right for next time we talk, so should be good. Should we just go straight into questions?
Bosh, we'll go
Go for
straight into questions. We've got 3 questions today, all from the main man, Dan
Is it
Hurst.
The Hearse.
96. Let me just pop them up. Just discussing, possible transfer targets, possible just things building up to the game. So the first one was, do you agree if Shane Long scored on Wednesday, he would have had the perfect game?
Possibly, yeah. But I think he still had a pretty much... well, he had a brilliant game for what he had to do, and he completely filled his purpose for what he had to do. So, a goal would have topped it off, but I still think it was a brilliant performance from him anyway, to be able to play that position, did exactly what Ralph probably asked him to do. So, yeah, it would have topped it off even more, but I still think he did brilliantly in that game. So, yeah. Your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, he's never really in one-on-one with the goal. That wasn't really his job to be the goal scorer. That was Danny Ings' job, and Shane Long was part of the duo that forced mistakes and held up the ball. I can't remember him having a clinical chance, not like the Watford game where he missed 2 quite clear-cut ones. But yeah, he had a good game overall.
Yeah, true. Mikey, I know you sing Shane Long's
Shane
praises.
There's a Shane Long shrine in the background.
Yeah,
I do. He played very well. Did what he does best, really. Not score, but he caused defenders lots of problems.
Everything else, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. Jamie, your thoughts?
Yeah.
Okay, right, moving on. Next question.
Solid. We've been linked with Aarons in the past. What do you think about Aarons? Max Aarons from Norwich.
I really liked him. I thought he played quite well for our team. And I was thinking about it during the game, in fact, if we should sign him or not, because we're known for signing young, not quite there yet players and progressing them on.
Which position does he play?
He's a right back for Norwich. And I was thinking last night, just after our podcast, would there be any Norwich players that I'd take? And none of them I would take apart from Max Aarons. I've got to be honest.
Take Campbell?
I don't think he'd. Timo Pukki wouldn't get in over Danny Ings. I don't really think he would suit a top runner.
If we keep a 2 up front, those 2 could be very deadly together.
True, but I'd still prefer our options. He seems like a B-Tech Michu. I don't think he'll do the job next season. If you know what I mean, he's a bit of a one season wonder.
Someone clip that. Someone clip that, everyone.
Yeah.
Play that next season's podcast. Harry Tizard.
And for Cantwell, he hardly played in the Championship this year, so he's done well to come through and play a lot of games this year. But there's nothing. I don't look at him and think that's a very special player. I think he's quite good. Whereas with Max Aarons, we need a right back, and he definitely fits our philosophy for players to sign.
Okay. Well, Cantwell is only.
Max Aarons has actually looked that impressive this season. Not defensively, attacking wise, yeah, but we've proven with Cedric that even with an attacking fullback who is good with the attacking things, he is caught out defensively and he is targeted. And I think a lot of the times we did target a ball to the left-hand side for Shane Long to run onto because we know how caught Max Aarons was up the pitch. Yeah. So I don't know. He definitely has a lot more to develop. But I know that United have been linked with him as well. So I don't know if he'll end up going to a bigger club than us. I think Valerie's probably better than Aarons anyway. I'd like to see Valerie continue.
That's very
big shout.
Yeah,
big
it was
shout.
a bit. So you've obviously rejected that then, Tiz. What's your thinking on that?
No, I just think it's a big shout.
So you agree with Mikey then?
No, I'm just saying I think it's a big shout. I'd probably say Aarons, but I'm just saying it's a big shout. It's a hot take, as they say.
We're going to keep saying big shout, Tiz.
Right, okay.
It's literally the same thing.
Okay, yeah, I don't really have too much on that. I think you guys summarised it pretty well. I think he's a kind of a bright spark, but there's still a lot of developing he does need to do there. And although we've got players who are good attacking wise, but defensively is where our issues have been to get that kind of complete right back. So yeah, would it kind of be a step forward or would it be a kind of sideways step? I'm not
I
sure.
think he's got room to grow, and he definitely can progress into a very good fullback. But he needs to learn the defensive roles as well. So
Yeah,
I think maybe if he goes and beats back up to Trent at Liverpool, I think he could fit that role very well because Trent is a very similar player in the fact that he gets caught out defensively, but offensively he's very good. So
yeah. Well, there we go. Next question, Tiz.
The final one wasn't really a question, but more of a comment. How good was Stevens on Wednesday night? That man is really turning my head.
I thought he did well.
He's a man on fire, I would say. He's very
Yeah.
passionate about it. His reactions after the game also are very excellent. I like to see it. So much streams there. I just like to see the passion from the players you haven't seen in the last throughout this whole season, and he's really shown that passion and pride to wear that Saints shirt.
Yeah, it's true, and that is so refreshing to see that they're not being discouraged. They are working hard and getting back in the team and showing that passion that they've clearly still got. It hasn't wavered. They do want to get back in the team and show that passion. So yeah, it's a good sign, I think.
100%.
Yeah. Any other your guys' thoughts? Seeing Stevens, anything you've kind of noticed that has changed in this game?
Slam Jack Stevens. Always slam him. Always criticise him. Yeah,
Mikey.
especially you.
Mikey.
Mike would always slam him.
Mikey's his main defender.
Mikey's always been back in the box.
He used to defend Stevens more than Stevens
That
used to
was the
defend
irony of the joke, everyone. That was.
You didn't deliver it very well.
Yeah,
I thought you were actually telling the truth. I thought you were saying it.
You should look into being a comedian, mate.
Okay.
That's poor.
I don't know where we go from here. What do we do now?
Oh, that's just the end of the question. So should we look against or look forward to our very difficult task against Newcastle?
Yeah.
At St James's Park.
Yeah, of course. So we've done our immediate reaction to the Norwich game. So if you are interested in that, click the original one, the podcast before. We've got, I think it's about 45 minutes of our reaction, what we saw there. But yeah, we're going to just focus on the actual Newcastle game. Kind of go through, formation thoughts. Because one thing we did mention last episode was the change at the back. Will we stay with a 4? Will we go back to a 5 away from home and continue our pressing style, which has been, quite effective away from home, playing that 5 at the back? Do you think we'll stick confidence to have 4, or do you reckon we'll go back to the 5, which has been fairly successful on the road?
Yeah, I think we'll stick with the 4 because I think Newcastle possess less attacking threat overall than Norwich, or at least a very similar amount. Like they do have Alan Saint-Maximin, Joelinton, and Almiron, but those 3 haven't really produced at all this season. It's been their defensive players. So as long as we stay awake at the set pieces, I don't see any reason why we change from the 4-2-2-2.
Yeah, that's a good point. Mikey, what do you reckon?
Well, Almiron got his first assist on the weekend, didn't he?
Yeah.
He assisted for Jetro Willems' first goal. So danger man. So he. Yeah, I think we should stick with 4-2-2-2 or 4-4-2 or whatever formation people want to call it, because it seems to be working. The players seem to be getting more confident each game that they play with it. We've now conceded 4 goals in 3 games, which is, I think, one of the better records we've had. So, so we're not conceding as much. And it's also quite exciting to watch. You've got the 2 up front. Ings isn't as isolated as he has been, and it looks good. So far.
Obviously, Newcastle's a tough fixture for us. We've previously in history we haven't really played that well up there.
I think we've won in our last 15 up there.
Yeah,
that was Elliot scoring a double. In that
Koeman era,
2015.
That really nice yellow kit we had. I wish I bought that. It was on sale.
I don't think it was on sale.
A bit like your Buffel shirt, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So, what do you think? What do you think the game plan is from the off? Will we continue to be attacking, or do you reckon we might have that little bit of a cautious mentality going into it?
I think you have to, because we've shown how poor defensively we can be this year, and against Watford, when we didn't start quick, Watford grew in confidence, and then as soon as Watford, like, it seems like whatever team scores first in most of our games, they then have the confidence to take the game. When we scored first against Norwich, we took the game to them, and we continued our dominance. But as soon as Watford scored against us, we sort of went into our shell, and we didn't. It took a long time for us to actually come out of it. So I think you have to start fast, try and get a goal early on, and then we can just continue to grow and try and keep our dominance on the game.
Yeah. Tiz, you were going to chip in. What's your thoughts?
I wasn't, but now you say it. I think similar to what I said before, set pieces are probably going to be very key, both defensively and offensively. A lot of the goals that we've scored in recent times, in recent times overall, have been from set pieces, but the majority that we've conceded, and probably Newcastle's biggest threat, is from those set pieces as well, or one of their biggest threats, because they score goals in multiple different ways. So that's going to be the main point of the game. But what I'm concerned of is we either have a good first half or a good second half. We don't have a good. I don't think I can remember a time, apart from the Arsenal game, that we've had a good both. So that's my only sort of niggling feeling. I'm a bit like, I'm a bit unsure about that. Maybe it's changed now. We've got 2 wins on the bounce, more confidence flowing through us. Newcastle will play again tonight against Sheffield United, I believe. So it'll be interesting to see how they do from that game. And that's the sort of, because they're playing tonight, we've got 1 extra day rest. And I don't know how much of an advantage that is, but I'd rather have a day more than a day less rest than the opposition team that we're about to come up against.
And I'm going to tune into the game tonight, partly because I have nothing else to do, but partly because I want to see what they're like. I want to see if there's anything there that could pose a danger to us, and also could be an interesting, if they end up losing away to Sheffield United, it means they've lost, drawn, and then lose another game. Potentially that would be a sticky bit of form for them to try and dig out of. So I think both teams are kind of quite close in the fact that they won 2 games in a row and drew against City, I think. So in the last couple of games, they've had a decent couple of results. But if they start to kind of tail off a little bit, and we're on brilliant form, 2 home wins on the bounce, hopefully there could be a little bit of a confidence difference there. So yeah,
I think with the Newcastle fans, you're going to get a passionate support, but they already don't like Steve Bruce. They don't like the way that Steve Bruce plays. So if we start to dominate and they don't start playing, they could get quite angry, quite aggressive very quickly. And how an atmosphere can get, because it's happened down at St Mary's over the past couple of years when fans do get aggressive and don't chant, they start booing, and it doesn't help the team. So that's if we take the game to them for like the first half an hour, they start not making chances, the fans are going to get annoyed and they're going to get rowdy, and then hopefully that will help us and not help them.
Well, I think the thing that I'm looking forward to is not facing Jose Perez as well. That's what I'm looking forward to, because he's always seemed to be their main threat when they've played against us. So now they don't have him, and now Joe Linton's good, but 1, he's only scored once, and 2, he's an isolated striker. He's not, when he was playing at Hoffenheim, that was a very attacking minded team under a very good manager in Nagelsmann. Now Steve Bruce isn't quite as attacking, and that's probably seen by the lack of attacking goals. I think they've scored once from one of their strikers, and the rest have come from midfielders and defenders. So that's something that could work in our favour.
They've scored 13 goals in 14 games. They haven't scored a lot this season, and their wins have all come from strong defensive performances instead of like attacking. Like you look at, I think their win against Tottenham, they were pretty much back against the wall for the majority of the game, and it was one lucky chance that sort of nicked through a couple of Spurs players and it fell to Joelinton's feet. Matty Longstaff's long-range banger against United, they've all been moments of they've all been spectacular goals that they've scored. They haven't up to chance. It's either been scruffy set piece or a long shot that's gone in.
Yeah,
and Selvies against City, the second one.
I'm going off what they did previously against Man City, which may not be a great indication, but they had 5 at the back of that game. Joelinton, the one up top of on his own. We mentioned it previously in the Norwich game, in the fact that it looked like we targeted specific weaknesses. So playing for set pieces and getting balls into the box using Ward-Prowse. Seemed like we did that using a high line and pressing higher up the pitch, because Norwich have struggled to keep clean sheets. Which specific parts of the Newcastle game do you think Hasenhüttl will look to directly attack?
Are they without Shah?
He was on the bench last game, so he might be back. I'm not 100% sure.
Because if they do go for the same formation, I know Manquillo isn't a great right wing back. And also Paul Dummett's always got a mistake in him. So those are probably the two areas to target. But I think Steve has done that quite well because he split them. So Manquillo's at right back and Dummett's at left centre back. So
is it Manquillo or Yedlin? Was it Manquillo
played against City?
Oh, fair enough.
So I think
in their last, I believe it's 3 in a lot of. I'm pretty sure most of the season they played 5 at the back. So it looks like Steve Bruce to kind of counteract that shaky defence. He's put 5 at the back there to try and contain it like that. So as we've seen it ourselves with Southampton, if we can use that extra man in midfield to try and dominate the play, then fingers crossed we'll be able to take the game to Newcastle and try and grab some goals and a result. That's kind of overall lineup wise. We sort of saw some good performances again at home. How would you change it, or what wouldn't you change? What's your kind of thoughts lineup wise coming into the game?
Good question.
If Valerie's fit, I'd like to. Sorry, Jamie. If Valerie's fit, I'd like to see him start over Cedric.
Yeah, I think I would.
I'm very happy to keep it the same.
Yeah, Harry, your thoughts?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd agree. I'd agree with Mikey's. To be fair, Cedric's got absolutely slated on Twitter, and probably rightly so. Even if his mind's in it, it's the fact that he did come out and say that he was going to leave, and now his performance aren't backing up the fact that he's still committed. So if Valerie is fit, because he wasn't even on the bench last time out, I'd certainly play him at right back, because I think we can probably risk more of our fullbacks this time out. We could probably push them a bit more forward, knowing that Newcastle won't counter us that much. Yes, actually, no, to be fair, they'll probably counter us more, but they won't get as many opportunities. And if we force them back, force the ball into their half, they'll really struggle. And so I think, I agree. Keep it all the same, apart from the fact that I want to take Cedric out and put Valerie in.
Yeah, that's true. And do you think Shane Long warrants a start up against Newcastle again, or do you think it's again a chance for fresh legs and someone else to prove themselves? Mikey's looked straight up immediately. He obviously did have a brilliant game. Do you reckon that his play style will work away from home as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think also the lack of pressure of the fans will also help him as well.
That's true, yeah. If you can have a good start against Newcastle, get the home fans to turn, like you said, Mikey, it could really benefit us. Them walking back into the dressing room, half-time, boos ringing. It kind of it backs up their thoughts about the performance, doesn't it? So
he also scored up there a couple of years ago.
Yeah, and do we know what Boufal's chances are against Newcastle? Do we know if he's still a doubt, or is there a chance he can be back for the Newcastle game?
That's a fair point.
He was on the bench, wasn't he? So I think it will be on the bench again, because Redmond did a game to be dropped after he did look a little bit more
direct,
more of a threat. Yeah,
he did look more sprightly this time.
I still wasn't convinced. I can't remember.
It was.
I can't remember a specific time when he's beaten a man or he's taken a shot on that's challenged the keeper. If Boufal's fit, for me, he's probably in line for a start. If he is fully fit.
Yeah, that's true.
Can I ask my question now?
Go on.
Yeah.
Is Vestergaard just been dropped, or is he injured?
I think he's just been drops. I think we've got a clean bill of health, but he's just been flat out drops.
Yeah. But I think there's no point changing at the moment. The pairing we've got on back seem very strong. I haven't really noticed too much between the pairing. Do you think there's one that stays and one that goes, or do you reckon? Because obviously Stephens is much more comfortable on the ball, which allows us to kind of have that confidence playing out the back. Do you think Stevens closes down and Bednarek's a sweeper. How do you reckon they play that role together?
That's a tough question, Ollie, because I think Vestergaard, yes, his height. I just fuck with Vestergaard. Yeah, I do appreciate this. The duo we got now in Bednarek
It's not Vestergaard, man.
Bednarek, I said, God damn you. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough choice. Really.
Yeah.
Carry on. Yeah.
That'll be fine. Carry on.
Tizard, what do you think?
I'm not sure.
You said absolutely nothing in that point. You went, that's a tough one. Tizard, your thoughts?
Stevens does seem the one that pushes forwards more, if anything else. But I think it's probably just rotationary. I think they are going to be the back two for a long time. Not a long time in terms of the season, not in terms of years wise, because they're both playing well. Bednarek's cut out the mistakes that he's made. Jack Stevens has responded to the mistake he made against Watford, and he had a good performance last time out. So I think it's just a comfortable back two.
I think it's a benefit the fact that Stevens is good on the ball, because if he does close and wins the ball, he works almost like a defensive midfielder in the fact that he's so comfortable on the ball. One of the centre mids can cover in case of a breakaway again, but being able to play out from the back from your centre backs is just so pivotal in the modern game, because it means he's picked it up in midfield. If he's pressed, he's now got the ball and he can distribute it either out wide or to a player into space. And it means we're not having that issue of play breaking down straight away and it's being lumped up top. We do keep possession, retain possession, and we're on the front foot straight away. I think that's a real benefit that Stevens possesses to the side. So yeah. Lineup, are we going pretty much the same then? Do you want to keep it exactly the same apart from Cedric? Is that your kind of thoughts?
If we've got a clean bill of health, completely take out Valerie and take out Cedric, take out Redmond, but I think it'll stay the same.
You'd like to see Redmond out? I think Redmond would be. I still think Redmond. You could give him another go.
I think we've found in a state right now where he's still not quite injured, very much better off being impact sub around 50-minute mark, depending how we're doing. So I think we have a good chance again against Newcastle. I think Ralph knows that. So I don't think he'll start Buffal straight away, just because he knows if he comes on, if we are maybe a goal down or goal up, he can bring him on either way, and he'll be able to push for the second goal or get an equaliser.
Yeah, I think
Redmond's not been poor, but I think that would just give Redmond a bit of a kick up the backside to say you've got competition here.
Yeah, that's true.
Show me what you're worth.
But I think Jamie's hit it spot on in the fact that Redmond is fit at the moment. What is that? I appreciate it. Redmond's completely fit. Buffal is a bit of a doubt, and so far this season we've seen Buffal play well coming off the bench. So it's a test now to see if he can play well from the off. But we know Redmond will have a decent game. He can change the game. So if he's in a good mood and he's getting chances, he can change the game. And if it's not going right, he could come off and Buffal comes on and offers you something different, a more direct approach. He's got skill. He can take on players. As long as he uses the space once he's in and beating his man, he can be really effective in finding a final pass.
I think
if he does choose to do it.
No, you keep going. It's fine.
No, it's fine. I finished.
Oh, okay. I think also, I think you said this yesterday, on the last preview.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't want to see Buffal start because you know that he won't work for the team, but you know that Redmond will. Buffal would do the work rate, do the defending. I think Tizard said this.
I said that's why I'm glad he didn't come on for this when we were 2-1 up.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad he didn't come on because I'm getting 9 extra points from Abraham off my bench on fantasy football.
Oh right, I did. I put him last on my bench. I didn't think he was going to play. I thought it was only 3 days. I didn't think it was going to make that much of a difference. He plays and gets goal and assist, so that's my punishment, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, gone through formation. Do you want to do predictions quickly? My voice is completely on the ropes. Do you want to do predictions?
2-0 victory for the Saints.
I am going for drum roll, please, Tizard.
No, because that'll ruin the sound quality completely. Great. Sure, but yeah, I knew Mikey would be the one tapping, flipping it.
Yeah.
Something's never. We're all in different places, but some things never
Something's
change.
never changed.
Some
Right,
things
so
never
I
change.
haven't done it since you shouted at me before that when it comes to tapping. So
Yeah, my seamless editing wouldn't.
I haven't done it since then.
I
wouldn't hear
am
that.
going for everyone a 2-1.
Jamie's going for a 2-1. Okay. Mikey, what are you going for?
1-0.
1-0.
That's
Whoa.
To who?
Southampton.
Yes.
Southampton FC. They're by far the greatest thing.
I can see. Yeah. Do I go heart and keep it positive, or do I go head? You know, because I don't.
Positive.
Do whatever you think is the right score.
And I know you'll be wrong.
Okay, I'll hope I'm wrong then. I think Newcastle at home. I don't want to be negative, but I think it could possibly be a 1-1 draw. I think it could. The teams could maybe just kind of stalemate. Not a particularly disappointing a disappointing game, but more the fact that Newcastle very defensive and at home. We don't want to overcommit ourselves. I think it might kind of peter out to a 1-1 draw. So I know it's not ideal, but I reckon
I think
it could be a
that's
1-1.
that's the most likely thing to
Yeah.
happen is a draw. Because Newcastle are good defensively, we're not. But then we seem to just score goals at the moment in different ways, while Newcastle are quite one-dimensional. So
Yeah.
you know that we'll have a slip up at some point, but we might be able to get a chance, especially with the form that Ings is on.
Yeah.
That there is a chance he will score.
Yeah. Is there any other things you guys are kind of thinking of, or anything like that you're kind of thinking towards the Norwich game? Newcastle.
Not specifically, because Norwich and Newcastle are very similar in quality. So there's sort of like the same sort of. I've got the same feeling. It is away from home, but I do have the same feeling that it'll be a slog, but we'll get through it, and hopefully we'll get 3 points.
Yeah, it's true. So is it? Do you want to kind of wrap up the Newcastle bit there? We can have a little look at fantasy and talk about things like that. I don't know where Mikey's gone.
He's just bounced.
Yeah, do you wanna-
What name is that on his signature? That's Sermon.
Yeah,
he's Sermon. Yeah. Do you want to have a quick look at fantasy then? We've kind of covered the Newcastle
I
game.
took Mane off of my captaincy, and he would have got me 30
You're a mug.
points. But I put Vardy on, and he got 10 overall, so it wasn't the worst thing. You know, I think I got 53 points with 2 players left, because by the time we're recording, 2 Sheffield United players still haven't played in, Lees, Mousset and Lundstrom. So I'd imagine Lundstrom's going to get another 15 points, because he seems like he always
He's an
gets a
absolute
load.
legend. If you haven't got him, what are you doing? But yeah, I've got
Ings got me 9 as well.
Yeah, I've got Ings in, Vardy captain, De Bruyne, Son, not getting any returns. Mane, obviously 15 points, highest scorer. Pereira got me 7 points, so again, really good performance from him. I've got Kelly, because he's just like my backup player.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, he got 6. Pope got 1, because they obviously got battered by City. And I've got Canwell, who's going to come off the bench for 2. And Abraham is last on my bench there with 12 points, which is really
Really doing, mate?
What? He's not thought about that at all.
I thought I'd rather have players that are guaranteed to play rather than. But I should have risked it, shouldn't I? He's a good player. I should have risked it.
So I risked it last week with Abraham. He didn't play.
Yeah.
So now I was like, no, I'm not doing that. So he put my number 1 bench today. And thankfully didn't come on and play. So he's come off the Newcastle game. Extra 12 points to my 45 I already have.
Very nice.
I very much risked it with Abraham.
Yeah.
I had him as my captain.
What?
He got 20 points.
Wow, that is.
So I'm on 66 at the moment because I had Vardy who scored, Maddison, Mane, Pereira who got 7.
How much
I got Mount to come off the bench, who's already got 6, and I've still got Henderson, Burn, and Lundstrom to play tonight.
How many points, Mike? Did you say?
I got 66 with
What
3.
66 plus 6 and
Crazy.
3 players to play.
Yeah.
Wow, that's brilliant.
I've had a very good week, and it's weird because I don't usually have good weeks.
So where's that bounced you up to overall in the fantasy league?
I don't think it's updated yet. I think. Oh no, it has. I'm 61st now.
I'm glad to say that Ollie's gone down to 6th place.
Why is that? Why are you glad to say that?
And I've gone up.
What's this ganging up on me? Why?
He's slipping down the table. You love to see it.
7th.
What? Jamie's what? 107th. He's triple figures.
Up, boys.
Oh, right. Okay.
Well, I'm 108th.
Oh,
Ooh.
Tizard, you don't see it.
It's getting close. It's getting very close.
Yeah.
I think things will definitely change for tonight because you've got Arsenal playing as well, so people will have Aubameyang in there.
Cool, there you go, mate.
I've got all red arrows. So.
2 points behind you.
But Arsenal in the
Red
worst form in the league. I think they're 3 losses and 2 draws in 5 games or something like that, aren't they?
Yeah, but they'll batter Brighton, I'd imagine.
Nah, clean sheet, 0-0. Dan Burn gets the 6 points. Beautiful.
Mikey,
As long
what's happening you in the fantasy league?
61st,
that.
didn't you say?
61st.
Oh,
You
my
need to
God.
listen a bit more, Jamie.
Listen,
Come on,
Jamie.
mate.
Underdog FC with King up front is 0. Jeez, Mikey.
Yes, because King's injured.
Will you even get Kelly to play in? Will he come on, do you reckon?
No, Kelly's third sub, mate. There's no way that he's coming on playing.
Oh, unless Bernard.
Unless everyone's injured tonight, and yes, they will be coming on.
Everyone's injured. You will indeed come.
But there you go. Is there? It's been a bit of a short one today, but is there anything that you guys can kind of think of? You want to talk about?
Saints. Just beat those baggies.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Magpies.
Magpies.
Yeah.
Go me.
Okay.
Oh dear, goodness sake.
And I think that's where we should end it
We
today.
should end it there. So we'll have a reaction after the Newcastle game. I'm not going to be able to watch it. I'm working Sunday, so I won't be able to watch or listen to it, unfortunately. But you guys will be watching, listening, I guess. You know.
Depends how much coursework I've done at the time.
Right.
Say it again.
Listening.
It's a Sunday on.
Oh yes, boys. I'll be
2
coursework
PM.
3.
It's not It's not on
Finished
TV.
uni.
No, 2 p.m. 2
Yeah, wait, so it's on 2 p.m. on a Sunday, but it's not on TV.
Not on
Yeah,
TV.
because Newcastle play today. They don't
Right.
have it, so they need more than 2 days rest.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So that's why.
But yeah, so you guys can stick on Dave Merrington and Adam Blackmore, but yeah, you guys will have to take the brunt of the
Sherlock.
the commentary because I won't only be able to see the highlights before we talk
You'll
about
take
it.
the
So.
Tizard role.
Yeah, take this as I could go
saying
to an
anything, just
obscure
sitting there
game as
being
well and
useless.
comment. Go to Burton under 23s or something.
Oh
like that.
no, the game that I went to yesterday was different gravy. It
Right, let me
finished
guess.
6-5
Yeah.
in extra time.
What?
The team were 4-1 down at half
What
time.
team was
They
this George
brought on a sub. Leeds Development College, based in Derby, versus Mansfield FC under 19s. It was
Oh my
it was a
God.
crazy. It was probably the best game I've ever been to. Not the best quality, just it was mental, and it was freezing at the same time.
Blimey.
You're a madman, my friend.
Yeah. Right.
It was
Okay.
crazy.
Well, we'll probably have. What I'll do is I'll probably do the reaction thing like we did last time, just to get your reaction straight after the game, where we can read through a couple because I think that worked quite well. What did you guys think?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we'll do that. So give us your reaction straight after the Newcastle game. Obviously, it'll be dependent on how the actual result goes. So, but there will, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we'll read through it.
Really fun. That's
And,
the plan for.
Yeah, give our
Right.
reactions to the game, see what we think. And yeah, so Tiz, how can they give their reactions?
Saints Prime on the Instagram after the full-time whistle. We'll put something out, and then you can put something in the box. I don't know what it's going to
Yep.
be. Probably reactions
Yeah,
or your thoughts or simple things
Yeah,
like that,
something like that.
and we'll read the best of them out.
read through. And as soon as it go live, so it'll probably be Monday morning. But as soon as it does go up, put notifications on for Saints Twitter, which is at Saints Prime Pod. And links to your favourite podcasting host, not one of the 4 of us, your favourite host, as in the provider. So Spotify, iTunes, all of those. You can go straight to the one you prefer. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. It's been me, Ollie. I've also been joined by Harry.
You have indeed.
Yeah, I've also been joined by Jamie.
Yeah, you haven't been
Yeah.
joined by me.
I have, and I've been joined by Mikey.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again next time.